I used to work with a woman who had a daughter named Baylor. I had another coworker who announced that he and his wife were expecting their first child. And when they found out that the child was a boy, they told us that they were going to name this kid Kagan. His excuse was that that was a cowboy's name. I was once at a gas station or something like that, and there was a guy working there. He had a name tag that said Andrew, like A-N-D-R-O-O. In the 21st century, we could learn something from our ancestors when it comes to naming our children. 19th century Romanticism did spark an individualistic urge, but these people were plugged into the Western canon, so they were giving their children names from Western history and literature. Evangeline, Helen, Amelia, Richard, Marcus, Augustus, etc. The medieval nobility named their children to indicate their status within the dynasty. For a long time, the Dukes of Normandy named their sons Richard, William, or Robert. Just by giving a son one of those names, they said something about his status within the family. This is one of the reasons we know that William the Conqueror, although he was born supposedly illegitimate, nevertheless was from his birth destined to have a claim to the title of Duke. Great deeds or big events could popularize a name. After Henry II of England married Eleanor of Aquitaine, Eleanor became very popular as a girl's name in England. Bohemond is another good example of this. So Bohemond, his birth name was Mark. He was a son to Robert Guiscard, but his dad started calling him Bohemond after a legendary giant because as a kid he was so big. The nickname stuck and he was called Bohemond all through his life. And of course he grew up to be one of the great leaders of the First Crusade. His deeds during the First Crusade were so famous and he became so widely renowned across Christendom that people started naming their sons this, and so the name Bohemond sprang up all over Europe. In the 11th century, King Henry I of France married Anne of Kiev. Together they had a son, and she came up with the name Philip. The name Philip, of course, is Greek in origin, and Anne took this name from her Eastern Orthodox heritage. And of course, this is a name that's associated with many great figures in Greek history. And the name itself has an aristocratic quality to it. It means lover of horses. And so the name became very popular in France. Ever since Philip I, this name has been a popular name in France and indeed in the West in general. Religion, of course, played a big role in the naming of children. The names of saints were popular. If you named your child after a saint, that particular saint would be an advocate, guide, protector for that child throughout his life, so a patron saint. So I think we can learn quite a bit from our medieval ancestors when it comes to coming up with substantive and beautiful names for our children. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'd like to remind you to pick up a copy of my band Roman Lions album Lit by the Sky, available via the link below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.